I, Rodimus Prime, do solemnly swear to uphold the values of the Autobots, to crush the Decepticons, and treat all humans equally, whether they are elites or deplorables, by making them put up with my insatiable ego. So help me Primus. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and today, as we in the United States swear in our 45th president, Donald Trump, I thought I'd take a look at the last of the major Transformer leaders. For those of you who have been following my channel the whole way, you'll remember Megatron and Galvatron were the first two videos that I did, and we posted Optimus Prime back on Veterans Day, so that leaves just this last one, the 1986 Autobot Protector, Rodimus Prime. Now, Rodimus came out in 1986 as part of the hero characters that were featured in the Transformers animated movie. Rodimus would also be available in 1987. He would become discontinued from the line in 1988, where, ironically, since Rodimus was brought in to replace Optimus Prime, he would get replaced by the Power Master version of Optimus Prime. Of course, as we also know, Rodimus, if you saw the movie, Rodimus was the powered-up version of Hot Rod, after Hot Rod managed to open the Matrix and unleash its full power, thus not only destroying Unicron, but reformatting him into the new Autobot leader. However, his ascension to leadership has been a controversial one amongst many of the fans, due to the fact that Rodimus himself is often seen as an inferior character when compared to Optimus Prime. And we'll discuss that a little further in this video. Let's take a look now at the Rodimus toy, and unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot going for him articulation-wise. This is partially due to the way he was designed. He unfortunately can rotate his arms. They can go all the way, but unfortunately the yellow fin gets in the way of allowing his arms to move. And aside from being able to move his ankles for his transformation, that's it, folks. So, out of all the leaders, Rodimus suffers from the transformation the worst. Suffers on articulation the worst. But we should also point out that he was also made during the time when the pieces were being changed, so there is a variant to Rodimus. The feet down here can either be made of metal or plastic. These are the metal feet variant, so probably something nice on a nice summer's day if these things are cold. And then there's also the tires, whether they be on his arm here or the ones down at the bottom of the trailer. They can be made of rubber or plastic. And again, this is the earlier version of the toy, so these wheels are rubber. So, nice little bonus here. As you can see, they tried to capture somewhat of the essence of the Optimus Prime toy by giving him a rear trailer that becomes a battle station. And I'm not as happy with it, folks. I mean, it is interesting in its own sense. Let's get Rodimus here out of the way. We'll take a good look at it here. I mean, it's considerably smaller. You can probably stand some Autobot mini vehicles or cassettes in here, but that's about it. They can stand there, and I think the cassette guys might be better. They can stick their guns out the sides there. They at least have guns. They can stick out there and make it at least look like they're trying to shoot. whereas the mini vehicles never had guns, except for the one, but he can't hold it in the robot mode. The big cannon itself, well, does offer some things. It is on a rotatable platform, so it can be rotated independently here, and it does angle downward a bit. That's as high up as it goes. And the base itself is on something of a hinge, so it can be angled to some degree. So it does give some play options. Plus, of course, if we disarm Rodimus here, he can stand in there and use it as a turret weapon of some sort. It does roll freely, so if you want, you can send him charging into battle like this, or charging down the stairway if you don't like him. Unfortunately, he doesn't stay in very well and will likely bail out on you halfway. Now it's time to transform Rodimus. We're going to put the trailer aside for the moment, and we'll start with him. We start by first removing his gun. And we're also going to get rid of the yellow wing for the moment, so it's out of the way. Now, unlike a lot of his predecessors in the leadership category, he's very, very easy to transform. I mean, it's almost pathetic how easy this is. We start by grabbing onto his chest and pulling upwards so we get this yellow section out. And then next, you're going to take the orange chest section, and we're going to rotate it by pushing from behind. Let me turn it to the side here. You can see this. I'm going to push it from behind to rotate it. And you're also going to take his head and fold it downward. Just rotate the chest all the way around so you got the hood. His chest plate now forms the hood. Straighten his arms out so that they're in straight. But we're not going to put them in yet. We're going to slide this whole assembly back. Now, while you're doing it, give a slight pull up on the canopy so that it doesn't drag too much against these two stickers here. As you can see, this one's kind of damaged. It's kind of worn from being rubbed against this canopy. This is not really a smart place to put some stickers. So just give it a gentle raise. Try to avoid damaging them until you get it in. And then just press the arms in snug. Then down here, fold his feet down. Then you can get the wing and reattach it facing like this. That's Rodimus, folks. Not much to look at. Now we got to get the he's one of them that unfortunately he's got to have the trailer. So push him aside for a moment. And we bring back the trailer. Now to get the trailer ready, we need to remove these blast shields from the sides of the gun. And then next, grab the top of it and just push this middle section where the shields were down. Then we're going to fold the gun assembly down and move the turret guns onto the top of it. Get it down as far down as it will go. Then you'll take the sides of the trailer and bring them up and clamp them closed. And now we bring Rodimus in, and we're going to merge the two together by making sure that this gray tab right here, it should connect way down in here into this gray hole. Get the wing out of the way so you can see it a little better. Should connect right into this slot down there. Put the wing back in position and slide him in carefully. And there he is in his alternate mode, which most people kind of describe as an RV. futuristic RV. Granted, folks, I've never seen an RV with that kind of tripped out exhaust or a flame job. But then again, they were talking this was the future in 2005, and here we are, 11 years later, we still don't see it. But needless to say, he does roll very good. And the one thing that he has going for him better than Optimus, surprise, surprise, is that he doesn't disconnect from the trailer very easily. When you snap them in there, he is snug. It is snug and secure. He is not coming off of there easily. So while that makes good for play value, it also makes it a pain in the butt to transform him because you practically have to fight to get the two pieces separated. Here, I'll show you. Come on, there we go. It came off relatively easily there, but as you can see, there was a little bit of a fight to get him wiggled free. He does not separate easily when he's in that mode. Here's a look at the loose pieces that Rodimus had, and well, he tops Galvatron in the number of loose parts. Galvatron only had 3. Rodimus beats him by 1 piece. Not really saying much, but let's take a look at what he has, starting with his gun. This is labeled as his being dropped by my Butterfingers gun. Actually, folks, it is a photon eliminator. I mean, it's a big gun. I mean, we're not going to go so far as calling it a BFG for all of you Doom fans out there, but it is nice, relatively big gun here. Got a nice stock on the back and a real long barrel. He does grip it about in the right spot. So he does also do better at it than Optimus, and you can see the wing design here on the back kind of harkens to the two guns that Hot Rod has. See? Bring Hot Rod out here, and you see the fins on his guns. This one kind of matches, almost similar in design to this one. I mean, even the stock back here in the back is pretty similar. Interesting little fun fact. We have one of the hardest pieces to find on loose samples is the spoiler, also known collectively to many of the fans as the yellow wing. It's just a thin piece of plastic. And on the opposite side, it's got the post in it and a little hole for something. Don't know what, but for some reason this piece is very difficult to find on loose samples. Somebody probably takes it off in the transformation and promptly forgets about it. Can't see why, but it happens. And then lastly, he comes with these two blast shields. These are also very difficult to find on loose samples, mainly due to the fact that they're only on the trailer. And as you can see, on the one side here, they have a double X pattern, and then on the opposite side, you've got a bit of a slash pattern. So, kind of looks similar when you put them both in the way that they properly would be. Like a little caution pattern or something. It doesn't really matter which side faces out, which side faces in. That's entirely your preference, folks. But those are all the pieces for Rodimus. Moving right along, folks, we'll now take a look at the instructions for Rodimus. And they show him standing kind of awkwardly on that trailer battle platform. I mean, it's nice to see that they make him have his legs spread out, but on the toy you can't even remotely try anything like that. And there you see him in the pieces. Of course, they don't mention the spoiler because it would be still attached to the toy. They start the transformation off by showing you how to get the trailer into the mobile defense bay, as they call it. I kind of look to think of it more as just a turret. And then lastly, we start the robot, and naturally, point to start him, we gotta turn the instructions around. And you see how to transform him. Yeah, while they show him there on the thing with the gun mounted, kind of like him on it without it. Just looks a little more realistic. Or as realistic as things get when you're talking Rodimus here. And you got here all the stickers to apply to him. I think mine's missing a few, but oh well, can't be helped. Can't be helped given the age of him. And then we got right over here, we got instructions on how to use the rub sign. As you saw, it's on the front of the trailer. Collecting the robot point, a reminder to collect your robot points. There was some pretty good offers available in 1986. And the reminder to read your tech specs. Even though, as I keep joking, they still use the Blue Streak figures tech specs, even though by this point, Blue Streak is now off the market. But speaking of the tech specs, we've got it right here. Here we got a rather imposing picture of Rodimus. This would have been the same one on the front of the box. It's all done in red to signify he's an Autobot, and even says Autobot. It gives his name as Rodimus Prime, and his function is Protector. This was done to avoid spoiling the movie that he would become the Autobot leader. And it gives his motto as, experience is the benchmark of maturity. He's got a lot of room to talk on that one, folks. A vanguard for the Autobot ranks, possesses acute military prowess, speaks with the savvy of a seasoned veteran, expert tactician with exceptional maneuverability in battle, can be hot-headed at times, has a tendency to act first and ask questions later. In robot mode, carries a photon eliminator that shoots high-voltage electricity. Range 500 miles. Speed 200 miles per hour. Sole purpose is to protect all life. His only weakness is his compassion for other living creatures. And now we take the tech spec decoder and lay it here over the grid, and we'll take a look at what it says. It gives his strength and intelligence at 10, his speed of 9, his endurance and rank at 10, his courage is also 10, his firepower is 9, and his skill is 10. So he's a pretty powerful character, folks. And I think in some senses he might be a little overpowered. Now we get down to, what do I think of him? Well, to not beat around the bush, folks, I'm going to put it to you straight and simple. I hate him. I was never a big fan of Rodimus, like many of the other fans growing up. I mean, we all loved Optimus Prime, but we could never get used to Rodimus due to the fact that Rodimus was a cocky character. And as he was supremely powerful, or as he led us to believe he was supremely powerful, he tended to still act more like the immature child that Hot Rod was, just now somewhat burdened by the fact that now he has to be somewhat responsible. And when things didn't play out the way they should, he just acted on his own impulses and would somehow still carry the day. It's probably how the Autobots kept winning in the cartoon, was due to the fact Galvatron was insane. But also, when you take a look at this toy doesn't compare to Optimus whatsoever. I mean, the Optimus toy, you stand him right next to him there. The Optimus toy is nice and stands out and looks tough. It just has this vibe to it that makes it look like it's tough. Rodimus is like the scrawny little kid standing there right next to him. The articulation is worse on Rodimus than what it was on Optimus. And also, the poor design here. I mean, you take a look at the head from this angle. You can clearly see right down inside the toy. When you're looking at it straight, the head just seems to be floating there. So it's like this was poorly designed. The trailer is a decent feature. It's not the best, and it won't compare to the one that Optimus had, due to the fact it's only about half the size. So I guess I can excuse the trailer a little bit, but it still doesn't save or salvage the toy from the negative connotations that fans have given it over the years, and it certainly has not aged any better. Some of the newer ones that have been designed in recent years are done better. They more resemble how he appeared in the cartoon, and they also just look a lot better. They make him come out looking somewhat more imposing, and they don't have it looking like his head's just floating there. Unfortunately, though, this is the original one we got in 1986, and it is junk, folks. This toy, bottom tier, all the way. And that concludes my review of the Generation 1 Autobot Protector Rodimus Prime. If you liked the video, please thumbs up it here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Post a comment, share your thoughts, and help support and keep this channel going. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.